I finally married the love of my life. But there is a but.
2 weeks later, on a bright Saturday, Mira became Obinna's wife. The wedding was not the small, quiet affair she had suggested. Obinna refused to let her settle for less. He organized a beautiful ceremony with decorations that turned the village into something magical. Music filled the air. Laughter echoed through the streets. As she walked toward Obinna, dressed in the beautiful traditional outfit his mother had bought for her, her face glowed with joy. Not the kind of joy you pretend, but the kind that is real. When they danced together, Obinna leaned in and whispered.
Are you happy?
Mira smiled through tears and said,
I didn't know it was possible to be this happy.
She whispered back.
Get used to it because this is just the beginning.
And while Mira's life was blooming like a garden after rain, Beauty's life was withering, like a plant left in the scorching sun without water. 3 months after the wedding, Beauty watched from a distance. She heard the stories from the village women who went to visit. Stories about how Obinna helped with the housework, how he cooked for Mira when she was tired, how he massaged her feet at night, how he told her she was beautiful even when her hair was messy and her clothes were stained from cooking. That Obinna is a rare man, the women would say, their voices filled with admiration and a touch of envy. He treats his wife like a queen, like she's made of gold. He doesn't just love her with words, he loves her with actions. That Mira is truly blessed. And every story the village women told was like fire in Beauty's chest. Her mother, Mama Beauty, was no better. Bitterness had entered her heart. Anger lived in her spirit. She will say to herself,
My precious princess is still unmarried, while that stupid girl is married.
Suitors had completely stopped coming. Word had spread too far, traveled too wide. Everyone knew about Beauty's impossible standards, her cold heart, her cruel tongue. Men who might have once been interested now walked past her house without even glancing in her direction, and the few who were still foolish enough to try were immediately shut down by Beauty herself. You think I would marry you? She would say, looking them up and down with disgust. One afternoon, about 4 months after Mira's wedding, Beauty's friend Chidinma came to visit. She was one of the few friends Beauty had left, and even she was growing tired of Beauty's bitterness. They sat in Beauty's room, and Chidinma tried, once again, to talk some sense into her friend. Beauty, please, she said, gently but firmly.
You need to change. You need to let go of this pride before it destroys you completely. Do you know that Emeka, the son of Chief Obi, wanted to marry you? That boy is educated, handsome, and comes from a good family. His father has land and businesses. They are not poor, Beauty. But you turned him down because he wasn't rich enough. What exactly are you waiting for?
Beauty's face hardened.
I'm waiting for what I deserve,
She said stubbornly.
I'm waiting for a man who matches my level. Is that so wrong? Should I just settle for anyone because I'm getting older? Should I lower my standards just because other people think I should? It's not about lowering your standards.
Chidinma said, with frustration in her voice.
It's about being realistic. It's about understanding that perfection doesn't exist. Look at me. I married Chukuma. Is he the richest man in the world? No. Is he the most handsome? Maybe not. But he loves me, Beauty. He treats me well. He works hard to provide for our family. He provides at what cost? We have a good life together. Isn't that enough? Not for me!
Beauty said flatly.
That might be enough for you, but it's not enough for me. I deserve more. I deserve better.
Chidema stared at her for a long moment. Then she said quietly,
You know what your problem is, Beauty. It's not that you have high standards. It's that you think you are better than everyone else. You think the world owes you something just because you are beautiful. But beauty fades, my friend. It doesn't last forever. And when it's gone, what will you have left? Beauty's eyes flashed with anger. Get out, she said coldly. If you came here to insult me, you can leave. I don't need your advice or your pity. Chidima stood up slowly, shaking her head. I'm not pitying you, Beauty. I'm warning you, because I care about you. But if you don't want to listen, that's your choice. She left.
And Beauty sat there in silence, staring at her mirror, trying to ignore the way Chidima's words had buried themselves in her heart like thorns she could not pull out. Meanwhile, in the house Obinna built for his wife, life was sweet in ways Mira had never imagined. Obinna was true to his word. He didn't just love Mira with words, he loved her with actions. He woke up early to help her before work. He came home and asked about her day and actually listened. He noticed when she was tired or sad. He noticed everything, cared about everything, and showed up for everything. But even in paradise, storms can gather. And the storm that was coming for Mira and Obinna was one they never saw approaching. 6 months passed, then 8, then 10, then 2 years. And the questions started. When will we hear the cry of a baby? When will you give Obinna a child? When will this house know the joy of a child's voice? Mira would smile and say,
Soon, Mama. God's time.
At first, the questions were gentle. Then they became heavy. Obinna's mother's visits became more frequent. Her eyes lingered on Mira's flat stomach, worry she tried to hide, but couldn't.
Have you been to see anyone?
She asked one day.
A doctor? A herbalist? Someone who might help?
We're praying, Mama.
Mira said quietly.
We're trusting God.
By the 4th year, the whispers grew louder. They spread through the village like smoke. Some women looked at Mira with pity, others with suspicion, and a few with satisfaction. Maybe she's cursed, some said. Didn't her stepmother warn that boy? Maybe she's barren, others whispered. The cruelest voices said, she did something in her past. Maybe she got rid of pregnancies when she was young and now she's paying the price. Mira heard the whispers. She felt the stares. And slowly, like poison seeping into water, doubt crept into her heart.
What if they are right? What if I am cursed? What if I can never
give Obinna children? What if he starts to regret marrying me?